So, after the massive box office and critical success of The Force Awakens, Lucasfilm has released their next movie to add to the Star Wars mythology, Rogue One: A Star Wars Story. Time to review it.
Save the rebellion! Save the dream!
So yeah, of course I was looking forward to this movie. It's friggin' Star Wars. Everyone loves Star Wars. The trailers for this looked incredible, it had a really good and diverse cast, and a great director. So, now that I have finally seen the movie, I thought that it was actually a really fun watch. Not perfect, but still pretty great. Also, after I give the film a rating out of 10, I'm going to talk about spoilers. Alright, let's go through the characters. Jyn Erso in the movie was pretty good. Felicity Jones did a really good job at portraying this character, although during some parts of the movie she did seem a little bit bland, but for the most part she was a really cool character. Next up is Cassian Andor. Diego Luna was pretty good in the role, but this character needed more development. K2SO, played by Alan Tudyk, was really funny. He had a lot of great lines, and during the action scenes in this movie, he was kinda like a badass C-3PO. Chirrut was possibly the best character in the movie. Donnie Yen played him perfectly, you could understand that he believed in the Force, and also had a really funny line, and you'll know it when you hear it. Baze Melbus was pretty cool, but he didn't really do much until the final act, although he was kind of a badass. And you actually believe his friendship with Chirrut. Bodhi Rook was really good. Riz Ahmed was great in the role, but the character didn't really do much. Saw Gerrera, played by Forrest Whitaker, was, in my opinion, the worst character in the movie. He was just really weird and off-putting, but Forrest Whitaker was still good in the role though. And Orson Krennic was a pretty good and pretty menacing villain. Ben Mendelsohn was really good in the role, but his relationship with some of the other characters was a bit overlooked. Now to talk about the positives and negatives of the movie. As for the positives, the movie was funny, but it wasn't too funny like I was worried about. Most of the jokes came from K2SO, and they weren't in scenes where they didn't belong. And the movie, for the most part, was pretty dark. Like, there is some stuff in this movie that little kids will be terrified of seeing. Also, the action in the movie was absolutely incredible. Some of the best action ever put to Star Wars. The beach battle was probably the best action scene in the movie, and the stuff they do with the AT-ACTs, yes, that's what they're called, was pretty cool. There's also some really great cinematography that gives us a great sense of scale, and this movie does a great job of expanding the Star Wars universe. Now let's talk about what everyone is talking about, Darth Vader. I'll talk about his scenes more in spoilers, but I will say this. He's not in the movie for that long, although I didn't really expect him to be, but the scenes that he's in are incredible. That's all I'm saying. I also enjoyed this movie more on second viewing. I still had the same complaints, but they didn't impact the film as much as I thought they did the first time around. Also, I guess that's an excuse to why this review is late. As for the negatives, as I said, some characters are underdeveloped, and at the start of the movie, the pacing was very choppy. Like, it was just introducing planet after planet, character after character, and the whole time I was just waiting for the plot to go along. There was also too much fan service and too many cameos. The cameos in this movie seemed really forced. Also, minor spoiler, I guess, but I don't really think it's that much of a big deal. Grand Moff Tarkin is in this, and he's completely CGI. When I first saw this movie, I saw it in 3D, and I thought Tarkin actually looked really good. But when I saw it again in 2D, I could see why everyone hated the CGI. In a few shots, he doesn't look too bad, but there's always something weird about it. Overall, I really enjoyed Rogue One. It did have some noticeable flaws, but overall, it was a really fun time at the cinema. I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. Alright, now to talk about spoilers, and if you haven't seen Rogue One yet, click off now. Okay, let's talk about the deaths. The characters I thought were going to die were Saw Gerrera, Bodhi Rook, and Donnie Yen's character, because that was said by one of the actors.
To do very confession. I cannot say that. And when this guy died,
I didn't think Jin Urso or Cassian Andor were gonna die because they were the main characters, but in the end, everyone died. And I thought that was a very bold and risky decision for the filmmakers, and that I applaud. I love it when big budget movies try something different. The action scene with Darth Vader at the end was incredible. It was badass, it was terrifying, and it wasn't over the top. Like, Vader wasn't flipping around the room, he was just using his lightsaber to cut people down. The part with CGI Leia at the end was a bit weird to me. She barely moved at all, and even though she looked like a real person compared to Tarkin, she didn't really look that much like Carrie Fisher. Anyway, that's what I thought about Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. Remember to like this video, leave a comment about what you thought about the movie, and subscribe for more videos like this one.